It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies, current releases, coming attractions, classic films as well. Oh yeah, streaming too. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey.
Hello, Jim. And the man who, just like Dominic Toretto, lives his life a quarter mile at a time. It's Murray.
Yeah, okay.
So, with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Okay. This week on the podcast, we'll be talking about the only movie playing in cinemas that we had not seen last week, what's coming out next week in cinemas, streaming movies that we viewed, Open Rage, Murman Minute, The List, Rage or Dare, and then we sign off quietly, sit at home getting excited about SIFF Calgary Film Festival with bated breath. But first, I'm going to give everybody a reminder about what's coming in October. All the Horror Festival on Twitter. Please check out All the Horror at All the Horror 18, both on Twitter and Instagram. Check them out at allthehorror18.wixsite.com/event. All of the merch sold from this group goes to scaresthatcare.org. Check both of them out because Film Rage will be on this festival. We're very excited. 2 podcasters usually a day. We'll be grouping up with other podcasters. It's going to be fantastic. All right. Well, that's a public service announcement. So,
What did we see last week?
what did we see? Now, we talked about Mr. Liam Neeson,
Yes, we did.
and then we saw his movie,
Yes, we did.
Made in Italy.
In Italia.
Italia. A bohemian artist travels from London to Italy with his estranged son to sell the house he inherited from his late/dead wife. Director-writer James Darcy stars Yolanda Kettle, Mikael Richardson, Sode Fares, and Liam Neeson.
Suad Fares.
Yeah, something like that. So, what is a reason to see this movie as a grown-ass man who does not like sappy, formulaic father-son romance redemption films? Well, you could fake your love of this movie with your quote-unquote chick flick loving spouse the same way most unsatisfied house spouses fake their orgasms to keep the peace. Thankfully, my wife doesn't fake things, as she says. Why would I? Who does this benefit? Well, the same with this movie. I could not even fake liking this movie. First, know this. I hate formula-driven stories, no matter what the genre. But at the top of my list is rom-coms, followed closely by either a com or a rom. Writing this must have taken the better part of an afternoon sitting in a Tuscan winery to write the drivel that was the transparent script. Here's how I picture it happening. Close your eyes and pretend you're in Italy. Step 1, find a winery in Tuscany. So that's pretty easy.
Don't drink wine.
Step 2, find a father-son dynamic type movie already done, should also not be too hard to find. Step 3, add a non-essential love interest for either character, doesn't really matter which one, either father or son. Change the names and locations already written by an untalented writer before you. Step 5, buy a box of carbon paper and rub the script from one page onto the new page, and Echo! You have a terrible formula-written script no one in their right mind should enjoy.
I thought the movie was convoluted.
This was 3 things in this movie that didn't completely annoy me. Number 1, it took place in Tuscany.
That was cool.
So scenery was great. Number 2, the music in the film was pretty good.
Yep.
Number 3 was Lindsay Duncan, a.k.a. Katie.
Kate,
That's it.
Kate was awesome. Love Kate.
Kate. That's also part of the film. That's it. Otherwise, I hated everything about this annoying, so predictable film. The only line in the movie that was worth repeating, as the rest was basically forgettable. Don't knock it. You know who else had 12 followers?
That was pretty good.
This gets a predictable, annoying, non-essential love story for a movie that was supposed to be a father-son relationship redemption film. It is a super duper Italiano rage.
Wow, really?
And no, Bryce, even Kate could not save this.
How could Kate not save this?
She did not, from annoying me to the point of an almost sadistic rage.
I was just confused because Liam Neeson didn't do any revenge killing in it. So
Did he? He kind of killed my soul. If he doesn't actually do it,
I'll
he
take
kinda,
it.
If he's not revenge killing, I don't want to see it.
There you go.
Well, what did you think, Bryce?
I don't know. It wasn't that bad.
It was...
If you take out the silly and super convenient love story, this would have been so much better. Liam Neeson was very good. And as you mentioned, Lindsay Duncan as Kate was also very good. At its core, the story of a father and son reconnecting was fine, but too many unoriginal plot devices bogged it down. I hated the side love story between Jack and Natalia. It was not needed. This alone almost made this a rage.
It should have. Made it a rage.
However, it was beautifully shot, and there were enough laughs.
No.
Yeah, there were. To save it from my rage. This could have been so much better, but it's a meh.
I can count on half of one hand how many laughs there was in that movie for me.
I smiled at least 5 times, and I'm pretty sure I laughed 3 times.
I didn't hear one guffaw or chuckle. It was maybe a huh. That was it.
I'm not a laugh out loud guy though.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that I'm not a laugh out loud guy though.
Yeah, you are. I've heard you laugh out loud.
It's got to be pretty funny.
Spitting vegan milk out your nose.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
Well, sorry, Diet Coke.
I actually prefer Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, and which planet are you going to fucking have Diet Pepsi? Okay, tell me one cinema that exists in anywhere in Canada where you can buy a fucking Diet Pepsi.
Like 15 years ago when we had famous players, they had the Diet
right,
Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi. So you're living
famous
your life
players.
today as if it was 15 years ago? You would be drinking only Diet Coke or water or that vitamin water zero. That would be coming out of your nose. And it didn't happen once in that entire movie.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. I love how you conveniently
Moving
forget.
on.
Murray, where's the boo button? Can you please press the boo? There we go.
Oh, don't be so hard on Jim.
Yeah. No, that wasn't for me, buddy. That was all
That
you.
was for Pepsi,
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's for Pepsi products
which is
in
not
general.
the choice of this generation.
No.
Moving on, baby. Moving
right.
on from
Okay.
town to town.
What are we seeing this weekend? This is going to be so jam-packed.
Oh, we are seeing Tenet. Finally.
The
Oh.
Undoubted.
We're waiting all damn summer for it.
Indeed. So Tenet from Christopher Nolan is finally coming out. What it's about?
Nobody knows.
Not
have no
really
idea.
sure. International espionage beyond real time, and the fate of the world seems to be at stake. The word Tenet seems to be
Secret
of
word?
importance, I think.
Secret word, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like the same forward.
Abracadabra,
backward,
Tenet
whatever that is.
cadabra.
Do you know what that means? Although
one knows.
It is 10 forwards and backwards with the N in the middle representing the last letter. 10-10. Could that
Backwards.
be something?
Backwards.
Yeah, probably not.
10 and net.
That is the whole thing with Nolan. At the very least, it will keep you thinking and guessing throughout.
Or give you a headache.
Looking forward to
Yes.
looking forward to having John David Washington carry a major release. This guy
Yes.
is a star, and I hope this is the start of him being at the lead in some more major releases in the future. Plus, Robert Pattinson is in it. Wow, I can't
boy,
talk today.
Robbie.
Super looking forward to this.
Yeah, I've got a super Christopher Nolan boner right now, and I cannot be more excited. There's a reason why he's undoubted.
Yeah.
And we are seeing, which I'm thinking Murray is going to be doing cartwheels later for, the New Mutants.
We will see.
Because that's, isn't that MCU?
It is an X-Men type with like New Mutants.
But is
like
it
the new- Well,
that's it's part of?
X-Men is Marvel, yeah.
Right, so the New Mutants is
Yeah, and
MCU.
it stars the pretty much the only good character from Game of Thrones.
Maisie Williams.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's the best. So 5 young mutants just discovering their abilities while held in a secret facility against their will fight to escape their past sins and save themselves.
Sounds terrible.
Sounds marvelous.
It does sound marvelous.
Sounds just awful.
It actually sounds a little bit like Logan, but we'll see.
Yeah, if it's anything like Logan, it's going to be fantastic. If it's anything like Marvel of lately,
Logan's the best superhero movie
ever made
And it had young
on
mutants.
the planet.
It also had young mutants in it who were escaping.
Yeah,
Although Dark Knight's close.
Dark Knight was good.
Anyway,
So anyway, we're going to see this, and you cannot kill David Arquette?
I bet you can.
You could try.
Hey.
You're seeing this, right?
Yeah.
You're for sure seeing it
Yeah, it's for sure seeing it.
in the drive-in.
So this is being presented by our friends at the Calgary Underground Film Festival as an off-the-cuff drive-in experience at the Crossroads Market here in Calgary. It is about David Arquette's return to professional wrestling nearly 2 decades after disgracing the business by becoming the WCW World Champion. Yep, Arquette was the World Heavyweight Champion of Professional Wrestling in the year 2000.
What?
Not only did this tick off wrestling fans, but it also stalled his acting career. So for some reason, David Arquette decided that it was time to get back into the ring to prove that he is no joke. Sounds like a train wreck, and I was only mildly looking forward to this, but after watching the trailer, I am actually pretty stoked for this one. Looking forward to going to the drive-in.
A little background. 2000 was around the time that Ready to Rumble came out,
Right.
which was WCW.
Uh-huh.
And he starred in that movie with
Right.
a bunch of real wrestlers. So
Oh,
I think
and he won. He
I think
won
it was
somehow
it was a storyline that they put forward that he actually won the belt. I mean, I'm
because they
surprised
all
that-
knocked each other out, and he just picked the belt
I'm
up.
Pretty
surprised.
much.
I'm surprised that WWE didn't make Donald Trump champion at some point back in 1990s.
Because they're not the WCW.
Just saying. So it wasn't.
There's a reason why
it-
the WCW doesn't
But
exist
it
anymore.
wasn't a real title win. But yeah, this is, I guess, him trying to prove that he could do it in real life.
Wow.
Whatever.
Personally, anything David Arquette's in, I want to see.
It actually,
So-
if you watch the trailer, it looks well.
So
worth
I have a
watching.
feeling this is coming out on VOD this weekend too.
Maybe.
Maybe. So I still may be able to see this. I just can't make the drive-in because I got a party to attend on Friday.
He has
But
a
I'm
busy
excited to see
social
this too.
life.
There may be something else that's coming out this weekend, but for now, these are for sure 3 that we'll be talking about next week.
Yes.
Did you want to mention something else that's maybe playing, Murray, that you were excited about?
Since you gave me the opportunity, yeah. Now we didn't want to mention it because none of us are actually going to it, though I really, really want to, but I'm working. Is Underground Film Festival is also presenting 2 more drive-ins on Saturday and Sunday. It is the cult classic from 1986, Rad.
Oh yeah.
It is at the Crossroads Market. Well, no, I'm sure Bryce would not want to see this because it's
No.
totally not his movie. It's the story of Crew Jones, who is a young local BMX kid who has to overcome all obstacles that prevent him from running in the BMX race Hell track, which they built for professional BMX racers, which was a thing at some point.
And it like it has a Calgary focus or something.
It was
right?
shot in and around Cochrane. They built the actual track in Cochrane, and a lot of the scenes were in Cochrane and Calgary. In 1985, they shot this. And it doesn't really have anybody really famous in it, but there are 2 noticeable stars. One was Mrs. Rocky, Talia Shire, who was in all the Rocky movies.
Stellar actress.
And a brand new Jailbird, ex-Full House star, Lori Loughlin was also in it. Playing the love interest.
What?
It was pure 80s, featuring the best movie song ever, Send Me an Angel by Real Life.
I do like Real Life.
This song was the heart of a BMX dance scene at the local high school, which you just have to see. It's just...
This sounds like a
even-
good thing to put
even
into my
for like
rage
the
bag.
3 minutes,
Called it.
It's worth it.
Called it.
I loved it.
I'm calling this right now.
Our friends at Cuff are presenting this classic film as part of their drive-in series at the Crossroads. I mean, I get to see it, but I encourage any Cuffies out there to check it out. It's rad.
It's rad. Sweet.
I know.
Well, you know what time it is?
I don't know what time it is. I'm all mixed up now.
Let's dance.
Oh, we're dancing, are we?
Oh, we're
okay,
dancing. Streaming. Motherfucking streaming. We're all back and streaming. Bryce, what are we doing?
Streaming.
Murray's back from Saskabush. He's got stories about wheat. What are we doing, Murray? What did you do when you were on your holidays?
Not streaming.
I'd like a pizza with extra sausage. Boy State. 1,000 17-year-old boys from Texas join together to build a representative government from the ground up.
And where did we watch this?
We watched it on Apple Plus.
Right.
And it's a Apple Plus original.
Sounds weird.
This, first, I want to say, Apple is putting out some good stuff, and they're buying some okay stuff too. So I just want them to have more content. This is just taking way too long. I'm sure glad I got it for free for the first year. All I had to do was buy an iPhone 11.
That's all.
That's it. You probably got away with an iPhone 8, but I wanted the best one, so that's why I got it for free. This is a program that every person that walks the earth in any country should attend. A 1-week program to learn about how government in your chosen country operates from all levels should be a prerequisite in anyone who wants to be able to cast a vote.
What?
Why is our education systems not doing this properly so that all kids that come out of high school fully understand politics in their country? You really get to see a different dynamic of each of these profiled kids.
What were you watching?
Boy State.
Okay. Continue.
On Apple Plus.
I'm enthralled for the curveball you're about to throw me.
Oh, yes. You did see the movie, right?
I did.
Awesome. This doc does come off a bit like this program is a little bit of a cult, but shows the passion that some of these kids have for their politics. Steven Garza and
awesome.
Renee Otero,
Yep.
2 amazing kids who stand for the ethics and beliefs of the power of politics and importance of its consequences.
2 out of 1,000.
Wow. I really enjoyed getting to know these great kids. So many great moments in this doc. One in particular I want to mention. There's a moment in it where one of the characters, Robert McDougall, the Bitcoin jock type stereotype, whom I thought instantly, I do not like this kid. He's sitting with his friends, writing his speech, and he comes off all guns a-blazing, pow pow, full of himself, but then he asks his friends for their opinions. And they have succinct ideas why his speech is not so great. His humility and vulnerability is shown to come so quickly, his ego goes from 60 to 0 in less than a second. This really is the heart of this show, in my opinion. Keeping respect and vulnerability through this political arena, respecting each other and learning makes me have respect for each and every single one of these great kids and their learning that they shared with us. Too much country music, but otherwise this movie was great. A real microcosm of America and perhaps the world in which we live in. Gets a cult-friendly, educational, respect for your neighbors and their beliefs, Mondo. Favorite quote, I think he's a fantastic politician. I also don't think a fantastic politician is a compliment.
Yeah, that's a good quote.
That's it. What did you think?
I think we watched 2 different movies.
Okay, let's have it.
All right, so this was, I guess this was okay. Steven Garza, as you mentioned, he seems like a really good dude. Renee Otero also seemed like a good dude. But other than that, this was a bunch of spoiled boys playing politics and acting like jackasses. They need to overhaul this program and include girls if they actually want this to be an experience that reflects the real world in any way. Getting 1,000 17-year-old boys together in this exercise seems pointless to me. Still, it had some heart overall, and it was a fairly easy watch. really doesn't shed a good light on the male youth of Texas, however. I don't know what you were watching. This sort of points towards a pretty bleak future the way I was reading it. But, you know, because of that, it was still a meh, because it was kind of a bummer, but it was a meh. I don't know what optimism you're getting from this. I don't get it.
What?
There were 2 guys in the whole freaking thing that were worth anything, and the rest was a bunch of spoiled brats.
That had ethics.
Yeah, 2 out of 1,000.
I know it. Well, we only got to meet like 6.
Oh, we got to meet a lot of them.
No, we only really got to meet 6.
We got to see enough of what was going on.
We got to see 6. So, Harry, first off, I'm going to respond.
Bleak.
I want to respond to your girls.
I feel sorry for the USA.
I want to respond first off to your comment about the girls, because girls has girls state.
Yeah, and they should be combined. That doesn't make sense to me either.
First off, I would agree with you. I think it should be group state, or whatever you want to keep people state.
Yeah,
but that's not what it is. So the reason I felt the positive message at the end was that these kids, when they started, it took you on a journey of most of them being idiots for the entire first part of the whole movie. Yeah. The one guy who was the actual politician guy, I forget his title, and I forget which side they were on, because they had 2 sides. They weren't Republican and Democrat.
Yeah, whatever.
They were kind of kept at nationalists and federalists. Really,
yeah, I think
that's really what it was.
Yeah.
And the one that was kind of like the leader of the House, from the one side, really kind of broke the ethics that threw the other guy under the bus, which really caused. So what I really liked about this movie a lot was this, to me, was a really good picture of what politics is for real. But out of those 6 people that we really got to profile, because there was the 2 people that were kind of running for the governors, and then there was Robert, who was another person running for the governors, and the 2 guys. So it was really like 6 people that you really got more of an in-depth study of. Of those 6, 2 of them ended with real ethical beliefs, and they brought up at the end that those 2 people are doing amazing things right now. Yeah. So for me, 2 out of 6 is like
0.2%.
No, we saw 6. They did not show. They did not show 1,000 people. You're seeing a microcosm of the people they were studying. And for me, odds of 2 to 6. Now, what's the math on that?
That would be 33% there, Jim.
Yes. So 33% for a positive future for anything political to me?
My math is 2 out of 1,000, 0.2%.
Yeah, okay. So you felt you had enough introduction to the other 990.
I sure do.
94 people.
Yep.
That you felt that you really got a good microcosm in that. You're right. I do not know what movie you watched.
United
because
States
they showed
is in
6
trouble.
people. And if 2 out of 6,
they showed what 33%, was going on, the fact that they're all sheep and they just follow, it was awful.
No.
Having said that, it was mildly entertaining, but at the same time, it was mildly entertaining me thinking, oh man, is the U.S. in trouble?
Well, and here's the thing, because we're potentially going to have an election in Canada coming up here, but the U.S. is definitely having an election coming November. And the fact that they only have a limited amount of kids that go through this, and you saw how they got to really fully understand the political system from the municipal level right up until the federal level. So we just didn't get to see all that, but they talked about it. This program, Boy State and Girl State, both happening simultaneously.
This program, Boy State, that does the same thing every time that they run it. Let's secede from the union. It's ridiculous.
No, but that's the kids of that era get to decide what they're bringing forward as their platform. The platform that they're running on is completely different than maybe when Dick Cheney was in it in the 50s and 60s, which was kind of funny. They brought all those presidents through that actually attended this thing. It was kind of funny, actually. Anyway, I think this type of program should be introduced even at the high school level. Every kid should have to fully understand what they're doing in government. They don't do this in high school.
No, I won't argue that the program seems good. I argue with getting that many together for the program. It has to be smaller. Definitely has to be smaller than 1,000.
I didn't mind that, and the reason I say that is because they basically covered them in 2. So you got 2 groups of 500. Yeah, and then you all try to go for the job you're going, but there's so many different jobs that they all created.
The whole thing is they showed at the beginning that all these were interviewed to be in this thing.
Yes.
Who the hell? I cannot believe it. These are the schmoes that they picked. Oh my God.
Could you imagine the people that didn't make it?
That's what scares me. I'm done. This is the scariest documentary you'll ever watch because this is the future of the United States.
And I felt
they are in
33% with a positive attitude and potential future for our largest economy.
Hopefully Texas doesn't represent the rest of the states.
I'm not mad at Texas. Texas, you produced 2 really good people out of 6, so that's not bad odds in my books.
2 out of 1,000.
2 out of 6. All right, so we saw Uncaged slash Pray.
You've got to pray
Which
just
is it?
to make it today. That's why we pray.
2016
That
slash
MC Hammer?
2000. Yeah, baby. 2016 slash 2020. Yeah, take it away, buddy.
If it's Prey, it's 2016. If it's Uncaged, it's 2020. It's a brand new release. And that's not the worst part of this movie.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, so let's take it from the top. A zoo vet, a cameraman, and a dude in a wheelchair hunt for a giant killer lion that is terrorizing Amsterdam.
Doesn't that sound awesome?
I'm
Bert?
intrigued already.
That's pretty much
I
it.
know, right?
Sounds kind of bad, and it was. This was awful. The cheesy dialogue and weak attempts at humor fell flat. There is a cringeworthy scene after cringeworthy scene after cringeworthy scene in the first act of this involving sex tapes and delivery men and alligators with cell phones inside of them and an inexplicable love story and just a whole lot of nonsense. But then we get to the killer lion, and one would think this has to get better, right? Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Well, it doesn't. And even it could have gotten better in any way. It would have not mattered because of the CGI lion. It was awful. He was always blurry. His color was always washed out. If you're going to make this type of movie, please have the budget to have quality CGI, or why not just get creative with the way you shoot the film? Why even use CGI if you don't have the money? Jaws didn't have CGI. So why use it if you don't have the budget to make it look reasonable?
They did have a puppet a couple times.
And that looked great too. And they foreshadowed this twist ending so heavily that it came as no surprise at all. As soon as the bait was missing, I knew that the apparent end would not be the end, but I digress. This was a mess of a movie. The intended humor was not funny. The CGI was awful. The acting was putrid. It was no fun at all. This was a hard rage.
Aww.
Sounds awesome.
I know, right? So here's my take on it.
Yeah.
Dutch Jaws meets American Werewolf in Paris, but on land. Oh, and it's a lion, not a shark or a werewolf. So basically, not like it really at all, but it felt a teeny bit like it, but not quite. But sort of, but not really. CGI lions, but real blood? What a great mix for a creature feature. There was so much real blood in this. I was super excited. I thought you'd be getting a bloodgasm going on with all the real blood they used.
No.
Did parts of this movie annoy me? Yes. But I also love the lion running around eating men and children. Mostly men, but only the naughty were definitely done in.
Yeah.
Lions?
It's a noble lion.
Lions, or should I say,
The lion eating the kid was actually pretty cool.
was pretty cool. Lions that kick ass and punch dicks with their mouths gets a funny bad as parts were still not bloody dissatisfied meh for me. I did not
How
hate this
can
as
you make
much.
this a meh?
I totally thought it was a meh because I was laughing at how bad it was. I was enjoying how bad everything was.
It wasn't enjoyable as bad.
See,
I
I
like
loved
funny
it.
bad. Funny
See,
bad is good.
I thought the
This was
CGI
just
was
bad.
so bad that it made it funny. And-
it's just awful.
And the I just love real blood. So the fact that the lion was just randomly only eating people that were bad, it just made it even funny. It was like, what are they trying to make?
Hard rage.
Murray, I think you'd like it.
I think I would.
I actually paused it when he's at the where the water is and the lion comes out and it's like the full screen is the lion.
Yeah.
I paused it right
To see
there.
the pixelation?
Just to see how bad this thing looked.
It's funny, I did the same thing.
And it was so bad.
It was so bad, but it was so funny.
blur. And the scenery behind him was like super clear.
Yeah.
And he was just a big blur, like
Oh,
just
yeah.
a mess.
Yes.
It was awful.
But didn't you like the real blood? And there was a lot of it.
I didn't even notice the real blood.
What? How could you not? It was so contrasting with this CGI lion and the real blood. It made it even funnier.
It was awful.
Aw, I feel sad.
Anyways, let's move on.
Okay, we saw Capone.
Yes.
The 47-year-old Al Capone, after 10 years in prison, starts suffering from dementia and comes to be haunted by his violent past.
Sounds good.
It does. Tom Hardy is safe. Just want to get that out there on the table. Also, who knew syphilis could give you dementia?
I did.
I am keeping it covered from now on.
Yes.
That's the truth. This is, all in all, a Tom Hardy movie. I believe he was Capone. And I have raged many times about miscasting people who are not from the culture they are playing. As you all know, it's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Tom Hardy's the
But-
exception.
As with everything Hardy does, he completely transforms on screen to whoever he is playing. Capone is no exception. This biopic is not really accurate, but it is it's pretty much very much he's in and out of Capone's imagination, and I let it pass because of that. This film made me go and see 2 different docs on Capone and do more research online about Capone online. Hardy is a master of his craft. This film gets a Mondo just for that alone. And that is saying a lot because for me, the movie has to be a Mondo and not the actor. This is one of the only films, one of the very few films, that the actor is the movie. And as much as I'm rating him, more than just the movie. Best line, this is what happens when people spend too much time in Florida. They turn into hillbillies.
Yeah.
Now, what say you?
Love this movie. The performance by Tom Hardy was tremendous. The fact that it kept you guessing somewhat throughout worked well. Was what we were watching real, or was it in Capone's head? Taking the journey through Capone's paranoia and altered reality was a fantastic voyage, well worth my time. The whole thing was laid out in a way that brought you to the climax in a satisfying way. I absolutely love this. This was a mesmerizing film that washes over you the way a movie like this should. Some may ask, what is the point of this film? To them I say, you need to watch this again and you will find that is a silly question to ask. No, there are not many answers here. Just an overall impression that made this film Mondo.
Tom Hardy. We love
Tom
you.
Hardy, so good.
He's... Someone asked me on Twitter the other day, who is your favorite actor right now? And I had to say Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer right now.
I think he can do no wrong.
Love Michael Shannon, and I love a lot of these guys, but Tom Hardy can do anything.
The range of what he's done, just even within the last 6 years.
And the fact that he just chooses such different stuff
Yes.
and nails it every time.
Yeah, like the fact that
he's the modern day Daniel Day-Lewis.
yeah, I think,
He's Daniel Day-Lewis.
oh my God,
What?
that is it.
He is, right?
He is, yeah. He's totally it.
You know, Daniel
Although
Day-Lewis getting a
Daniel
little
Day-Lewis-
older, and and now Tom Hardy's taking over.
So okay, but here's a question: Daniel Day-Lewis never did a superhero movie
No, he didn't.
or a super villain movie, anti-villain.
Well, he was an anti-hero.
Was he?
Was he in what?
Daniel
There Will Be
Day-Lewis?
Blood?
And that Gangs of New York, he was the bad guy in that one.
No, but an anti-hero. Like you're rooting for the Venom, right? Like he was kind of a bad guy, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's suffice to say that Tom Hardy is my new man crush.
Yeah.
He may take over Keanu
and
Reeves as my number one.
Just the fact that we're mentioning him in the same sentence as Daniel Day-Lewis tells you what a tremendous actor.
Well,
he
he's
is.
gonna win a few Oscars first, though.
Oh, he will.
He's already won an Oscar in my heart,
Just in your heart, though, Doug.
and I don't care what the
I
fuck
know you
people say
don't
about
care.
Oscars because
I
they're
know.
shite. They're shite.
They-
They're shite.
Hey, Lewis has 2.
There you go.
Yeah, well, and then he retired. Said, "I'm on the top of my game.
That's right.
You guys want some of this?
Done it all.
You can't have it." That's a way to go out, man. Hopefully he's doing something really cool like painting or driving cars in Italy or
Drinking.
Nah,
No, that's not cool.
that's not that
That's what
cool.
he's doing.
Is
All
it?
right.
Maybe.
Sure.
Okay, the
He's
pool
Irish.
The
on
Pool.
Shudder.
On Shudder.
Oh wait, we did we say Capone is on Amazon Prime?
Capone's
isn't
on
it?
Amazon Prime, and I'm not even sure that we mentioned that Uncaged is also on Shudder.
Shudder, and the pool is also on Shudder.
Yes, it is. It's kind of a sad
Double
week for
duty.
Shudder. All right, the pool. So, dude and his girlfriend get stranded in an empty 6-meter deep pool with no ladders. That's odd. Oh yeah, and there's a giant alligator in there as well. Well, there is a ridiculously bad CGI alligator that looks like it was taken from a 90s video game. This got exponentially more dumb as it rolled along. At one point, our stranded protagonist grabs the giant alligator by the tail and flings it across the pool like a 10-pound sack of potatoes. He must have superhuman strength because given the dimensions of our CGI friend, I would say he would have to weigh a minimum of 500 pounds. The scenarios got dumber and dumber as the movie rolled along. The last scene where he holds his apparently dead girlfriend, spoiler alert, in his arms was predictable schlock. This was a badly made film with an unsatisfying ending. Plain and simple, this was a rage.
Well, now
Is this another one that was so campy and funny that you just had to give it a meh?
It just sounds
maybe
stupid.
I'm just giving you a taste of your own medicine, just so you know.
Uh-huh.
But no, the other one was a meh for me because I thought it was so terrible. In the first 2 minutes of this movie, I already hated it.
So bad.
The worst CGI I have ever seen, and I literally just saw Uncaged, so I know what bad CGI looks like.
Yes, you do.
So it could only get better, right? But then quickly, we are introduced to a super hot clown woman. So I'm thinking, maybe this isn't going to be so bad. I mean, hot, wet, creepy, clown woman. What's not to love?
Oh, the clown part.
All these years, I assumed super hot people could just do anything, including act. This movie proved even in Thailand, hot male and female model-like people can't act no matter how hot they are. And these two were super hot. So even their super hotness could not hide the terrible acting.
They were an attractive couple.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's hot.
That's hot. That's hot.
Yeah, sure thing, Paris.
I don't know about you, but once a movie puts you in your headspace about where your mind is, it almost takes a miracle to take you out of it. So after already hating it 2 minutes in, I just could not focus on anything except the things I hated, such as the suspense. They try to build whether he gets stuck in the pool, as we already know he gets stuck in the pool. So we already know he gets stuck in the pool. So no surprise that guess what? He gets stuck in the pool. FYI,
Did he get stuck in the pool?
they start the movie with him being stuck in the pool.
Weird, right?
I know. I was so surprised when he got stuck in the pool. The whole unbelievable premise to begin with him not getting out of the pool in the first place because he was told by his friend and director of the film they were making that he was emptying the pool and it's for him time to get out. But no, he went back into the pool to relax and cool off his cute little body on his cute little raft. How about he thinks a house coat will stop the drain from draining the pool? Yeah, that worked out well. Or the worst one of all, who orders a small pizza from Pizza Hut when they clearly have regular price $5? Nobody orders a small delivery pizza from Pizza Hut.
Maybe the rules are different in Thailand.
No, it's always regular price,
Even
medium
in Thailand.
2-topping pizza, $5. This very,
They
and when
produced
I
the
say
movie, by the way.
very simple plot, made me wonder why anybody thought this could entertain for more than 5 to 7 minutes at most. At 24 minutes in, we see how the crocodile also gets stuck in the pool. And so, with a new look on life, I changed hating the movie to routing for my new hearer. Let's call him Crocky. First off, Crocky is just minding his own business when he's barked at and startled by some stupid Shaggy DA dog, practically giving him a heart attack, but still causing him to fall into the pool, which he obviously had no intentions of getting stuck in. After all, he's a smart little Crocky. Then, the terribly good-looking Thai actor dude steals his PTSD support tape and then proceeds to beat him with it over and over again. He's done nothing wrong. He's the victim in all this. On top of it all, he doesn't get a bite of any food. And how long was he in that pool? Surely the dead or nearly dead girlfriend isn't going to be worth much after the traumatic head damage. Surely they could have shared a little small bite of her. Oh, and did I mention they even ate Crocky's babies? That was the final straw. That being said, I hate Pizza Hut.
There you go.
Oh, and Save Crocodiles, not this movie, in your playlist. Gets an animal rights annoying rage for poor Crocky and her cute little babies.
Yeah, I can get on board with all that.
Exactly, right? Like, weren't you rooting for Crocky at some point through the movie?
I just wanted
to end. I wanted little babies to... I was hoping that the eggs would hatch and that those little babies would eat the dead girlfriend or something.
I just wanted it to end.
Yeah. No, I did not think this one was good. This one was just bad.
Well, having not seen it, just like reading it, the intro that you did about it, I have one nagging issue. Who the hell has a 6-meter pool? I looked it up. That's, for you Americans, that's 20 feet.
Yeah, man.
Who has a swimming pool that's 20 feet deep? That's stupid.
It was a commercial pool. It wasn't
Still,
it wasn't in
20
someone's
feet.
backyard. It's
a deep end.
Then it's a water
It's
tower.
a deep
It's
end
not-
all
it's
the
not a
way.
pool.
I think it was maybe Olympic-sized swimming pool.
And then you said, how the hell did
I
they
don't
even
think
get
so.
in there?
I think it was just a diving pool.
That's
They're
just-
6 meter deep.
Yeah, they have
It
to
was
be
a
because there
diving
was a lot of dives in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was a lot of dives in this.
Yeah, just,
At any rate.
doesn't sound like anything I want to see.
Well, this builds up perfectly. We've placed this again perfectly
Yeah.
for the next segment.
True.
Rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Okay, this week, my rage is going to be really short and sweet. Normally, I like to rage on for practically 60 minutes, but today, I'm really only going to rage for a very short time because this has been a constant rage of my buddy Bryce's here for so many years. But I'm going to say CGI is my rage this week because we saw 2 movies that really were terrible. As much as I gave Uncaged / Prey a meh, it's because it was so bad I couldn't stop laughing at the terrible CGI and the real blood.
Maybe it would have been better in 2016 as Prey.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it,
Let's go back in time.
because who really was the prey in this? Those people were hunting that poor lion.
I felt like the prey in this.
Exactly. I was almost sadistic. That's how rage.
Stop
it was.
trying to make sadistic happen, Jim.
Sadistic is awesome. So here's my rage this week. We've seen from other movies that don't use. Let's go back to a Shudder favorite of ours from a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
The one with the internet stuff.
Host. Yes.
There was probably some kind of CGI in that movie. I wouldn't have known. Because it was on the computer, you assume there's something CGI.
Yeah, maybe.
But the budget on that movie must have been maybe, I don't want to pick numbers, but it was cheap.
Yep.
You could have made this movie without showing the lion once, to your point about Jaws, and we wouldn't have been subjected to the terrible, terrible, terrible CGI from both these movies that we got from Shudder. You may not have been able to afford a puppet sort of lion, but I quote this because our buddy, Spence Easterbrook, who's making a movie in Calgary right now.
Yeah, he is.
Sharkosaurus.
You bet.
And he did a GoFundMe page. I think he raised $15,000 to make his walking Sharkosaurus.
He made an actual shark.
And
yeah.
it's awesome. So we know how much it is to build a shark. A lion can't be much more than that. If your budget is $15,000, you've got yourself a real animatronic lion that looks pretty good.
All right.
We could even use that Alberta guy who did the Bigfoot. to maybe make a lion. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
right? Anyway, stop making CGI movies although if you are going to make a CGI movie, please make it with real blood. And that's my rage this
That's
week.
your rage this week. I almost feel like I should say ditto, because really, so how can my rage be about anything else?
Well,
Is that what we're going with? Ditto?
but you did like the real blood, though, right? I can't believe you didn't notice the real blood.
So, between The Pool and Uncaged, they created the double feature from CGI Hell. Everyone knows I hate CGI to begin with, but this was beyond awful. Why do filmmakers use this technology? Unless you have a major technical budget, you should not even think about using this technology. And even if you have the budget, I personally think you should just use practical effects anyways, as they always look better than some computer generation images if done right. But I digress. Long story short, CGI sucks.
And CGA, whatever that is.
CGI sucks too.
Whatever it is.
Canadian Golfers Association.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're awful.
they suck. Hitting
They're
their
coming after you,
carrying their
Bryce.
balls around.
With their drivers.
CGI sucks.
Yeah. That was a nice, simple rage this week.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right. So, we had a discussion already offline for this.
Did we?
Did we?
Yes. Well, you weren't there, Mer, because you didn't attend it.
Because I'm not part of it.
No, you just weren't there because you were on holidays.
Yeah, I don't know. He skipped ahead, I think. I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, you weren't here last
Trying
week.
to cut
Hey
me out of the show.
Jim, it's time for the Merman
I
Minute.
still did one, even though I wasn't here.
He did do it last week.
Okay. Thank you, Bryce.
Whew, almost cut that off.
That's right. Well, this week I'm going to talk about the rage of Roger Ebert. It's
Okay.
actually been 7 years since we lost the godfather of movie critics, Roger Ebert. He was the original film rager, well respected, not afraid to go after any director or actor who dared to release crappy films. Mind you, he released a couple of his own that weren't that great either.
Yeah, they're all right.
Anyway, here are some of his juicier moments. We have Armageddon. He said about this movie, this movie is an assault on the eyes, the ears, the brain, common sense, and the human desire to be entertained. No matter what they're charging to get in, it's worth more to get out. About The Village, he said, eventually the secret is revealed. It's a crummy secret, but one step up from it was all a dream. That's a TV reference, by the way. It's Dallas.
I like The Village.
I like the village.
It's so witless, in fact, that when we do discover the secret, we want to rewind the film so we don't know the secret anymore. Then we keep rewinding and rewinding until we're back at the beginning and we can get up from our seats and walk backwards out of the theater and go down the up escalator and watch the money spring from the cash register back into our pockets.
Wow, he really didn't like that one.
I did like it myself, actually.
I
but
did
that,
too.
That
I
was
liked
too
it.
funny not to include.
Yeah.
Freddy Got Fingered, 2001. He gave 0
Tom
stars.
Green.
This movie
Daddy,
doesn't.
do you like them sausage?
This movie doesn't scrape the bottom of the barrel. This movie isn't the bottom of the barrel. This movie isn't below the bottom of the barrel. This movie doesn't deserve to be mentioned in the same sentence with barrels.
Nice.
Then we have Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo, 2005.
What? He didn't like that?
Also 0 stars. The title character makes a living prostituting himself. How much he charges, I'm not sure, but the price is worth it if it keeps him off the streets and out of another movie. Deuce Bigalow is so aggressively bad as if it wants to cause suffering to the audience.
Oh, snap.
Best thing about it is that it only runs 75 minutes.
Yep.
And
The best thing about that was the poster.
And I believe he goes on to say, Rob Schneider, your movie sucks. 200 Cigarettes in 1999. He gave it a half a star.
Not bad.
Maybe another 200 cigarettes would have helped. Coughing would be better than some of this dialogue. And we have Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
What?
1 star. Most of the people look as if they would rather be in other movies. This movie basically has one joke, which is Ace Ventura's weirdly nerdy strangeness. If you laugh at this joke, chances are you laugh at Jerry Lewis.
Who doesn't?
And I can
laugh at
sympathize
Jerry
with
Lewis?
you, even if I can't understand you. I found the movie a long, unfunny slog through an impenetrable plot. Kids might like it. Real little kids.
I agree.
And our
me.
last one
Are you
is
asking me a question?
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. 1992.
Estelle Getty.
Estelle Getty and
Getty.
Sly Stallone. It's one of those movies so dim-witted, so utterly lacking in even the smallest morsel of redeeming value that you stare at the screen in stunned disbelief. It is moronic beyond comprehension, an exercise in desperation during which even Stallone, a repository of self-confidence, seems to be disheartened. And he actually got Stallone to agree with him. Stallone himself says, I made some truly awful movies. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot was the worst. If you ever want someone to confess to murder, just make him or her sit through that film. They will confess to anything in 15
true.
minutes.
It's true.
Said that about his own movie.
Yep.
Anyway, he was one of a kind. So, R.I.P. Rage on, Rager. Rage on.
Rage on.
Right on.
Mur, that was literally... I never thought you could outdo yourself from every week, but this week was definitely the best.
I have a lot of downtime.
Okay, well, I got a little excited to talk about this.
You did.
Obviously, I didn't want to mean to take your Murman Minute away because that was perfect. But we talked last week, and Bryce and I already talked about this offline, but I'm bringing forward Liam Neeson on Undoubted, which I promised I would.
Doubted?
Yeah.
And
Doesn't seem right, but
it doesn't seem right, but it's true.
okay. Well, let's.
And it didn't pass the Bryce sniff test, and you'll find out at which point. But, okay, going back in time, and there's a lot of movies he makes. Because 2018 was Daddy's Home 2.
Okay. Well, that's a rage.
The Commuter was a rage.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, Commuter was a rage.
It
Yep.
was all right.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs was a meh for me.
Yeah, it's a meh.
Widows, which I did not see.
Yeah.
If it's a Mondo,
Yeah. Well, it doesn't even have to be a Mondo. Back-to-back mehs.
yeah, is it a meh though?
It's a meh.
So that's two mehs. He's off. He's not on
He's
it.
not on it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, but let's just break down his other movies after Widows.
Yep.
Cold Pursuit was a rage.
That was so awful.
Men in Black International was a rage.
That was
Which I
beyond
liked.
awful.
Ordinary Love was a meh.
Ordinary
you
Love,
could-
I don't even know if I saw it.
It was like a love story. His wife is dying of cancer.
For some reason, I think I saw it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah,
which
so
probably
if it
makes
was a meh for you, then he still wouldn't have made it because Made in Italy, which was a rage for me,
It was a meh.
was a meh for you. So, but just I wanted to bring this out there. Liam Neeson, go back to being awesome and stop making these terrible movies.
And we don't need a Taken Part 6.
No.
I think we do.
And that's 2018. So he's made 8 movies. Like, how about you just make 1 or 2 a year?
Yeah.
Or
Like-
retire.
Like you're not as talented as someone like who makes like a ton of movies every year. Willem Dafoe. You're not as talented as Willem Dafoe.
Who is, though? Who is?
No one is, except for he makes a bunch of stinkers too. He makes like 20 movies a year.
Yeah, but
That's
he's
true.
he's always. You still can't take your eyes off
It's
him.
true. He's mesmerizing. Okay, so I'm putting forward on the Undoubted this week, Russell Crowe for my man Murray. 2014, which I did not see, and if this gets a rage, he's already not there. So if either one of you saw this and gave it a rage, he's done. Noah.
Did not see it, but I'm sure he was awesome.
It was meh.
Okay, we're off to a good start. The Water Diviner was Mondo.
Was
Never
it?
heard of that one.
I liked it. You didn't like it?
It was meh.
Okay, well, we're still... Was Mondo's... It's done.
Back-to-back mess, man.
Dude, okay. Fathers and Daughters for me was a Mondo. The Nice Guys was a Mondo. The
was
Mummy
Mondo.
was a meh for me.
That was a rage.
Okay, so he's not.
Which one?
The Boy
The
Erased.
Mummy.
Oh, okay.
It was a meh for me, but The Boy Erased for me was a Mondo.
That was a Mondo.
Yeah. The True History of the Kelly Gang was a meh for me.
That was meh.
And Unhinged was a Mondo and was a meh for you. So he
Yeah.
wouldn't. He couldn't make you anyway because
No,
there's too many
'cause-
back-to-back
Well, he may
mehs
not
for
be
you.
on-
And there's a rage in there.
Yeah, I
he,
know.
he may not be
was-
undoubted, but I definitely
That
think
was a
he's-
very generous meh from you for the Mummy.
I like Tom Cruise.
It was
There you go.
awful.
I love Tom Cruise.
I-
Rage.
He may not be undoubted, but he definitely is mesmerizing.
Oh yeah. Is he not? Is he on our mesmerized?
I have no idea.
We'll have to check that out. Okay, so I say he's mesmerizing.
Oh yeah, well we can definitely put him on mesmerizing. He was mesmerizing
In
in
his
the.
daily life, he's mesmerizing. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to even be acting.
He's fighting around the world.
Yep.
All right, and I'm going to give one mesmerized. You ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
Wanda Sykes.
Undoubtedly frickin' mesmerizing.
Yeah, she's got some good moments.
She is. Every time she's on screen, I have a little bit of urine trickle down my leg.
And
She is
sometimes
so
out of my
frickin'
eyes.
funny.
She makes me laugh so
Oh,
hard, my urine runs out of my eyes.
urine goes. It's just. She
Right?
is hilarious, and every time she's on, you don't look away. You don't leave the room.
No.
You don't.
No, you go.
You don't even reach for another handful of popcorn. You just watch.
You just
Wanda
wait,
Sykes.
and then you eat your cheesies after the fact.
You wait, you laugh hard, and then you have your popcorn.
Exactly. Why is she not in everything all the time,
She should be.
everywhere?
She's so good.
Right? She can make a movie go from rage to mess so fast.
She made Clerks 2 worth watching.
That's true.
And Jexy for you, actually.
Yeah.
All right, well, rage or dare, people.
Okay, then. I wasn't here last week. I don't know what happened there, but last time on Rage or Dare, Jim had to gingerly pull from the dirty bag the not doubted Kevin James sports rom-com Here Comes the Boom. This week, the boys will have to grab a big handful of rage from my huge bag of juicy, sweet candy films, or maybe my salty but still tasty Dare. Let's check in with Jim and see if Kevin James can win the fight for Jim's heart, or does he lose the fight just like Jim's respect for making this movie?
Here comes the boom. So, Henry Winkler, Selma Hayek, and now the undoubted Kevin James are so amazing. This movie was awesome. Well, maybe not awesome, but not too bad.
Whatever.
Well, that's what Bryce might say if he watched this.
Oh, I watched
As he
it.
gives out Maz like candy.
Whatever.
And even gives them to movies without any flaws. But as I'm reviewing this, I also want to give it a meh. Not because it deserved it, but just to annoy Bryce so he knows how it feels. I'm just kidding. This movie was awful. Oh, nah, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was okay. Well, maybe. Everything about this movie is contrived and typical for any stupid comedy. First off, Kevin James is a 4 on the best day of his life. Selma Hayek is an 11, and that's not without even trying. There is no way in any universe where these two would date. So even to hint at a romantic option between those two makes this movie a rage alone. Sports movie? Check. Movies that take place at schools, about schools, or even has a school in it? Check. Rom-com? Check. Predictable, stupid premise of a story to begin with? Check. In any world where they cut music class and some douchebag decides to raise money by working night school and with no logic anywhere in this plot ensues, check. The fact that Kevin James, who is depicted as an asshole and cares for no one, all of a sudden decides to fight MMA to save his friend who he doesn't even care about, could not be only make Joe Rogan rage, and yes, Joe Rogan was in this film. Nothing about this movie was good, and I hated everything about it. Well, that's what I might say. But actually, it wasn't too bad. Kevin James is a great actor. Salma Hayek is super hot. And Henry Winkler is, hey, like Fonzie. It was a meh. It was a funny how many times Kevin James got beat up. That alone almost made it a mondo. But no, wait. Because the acting was so great, I think I might give it a mondo.
There you go.
For being too bad funny. I could not stop laughing at it.
I don't think you're telling me the truth, Jim.
This was a rage.
Mind.
Job done.
Such a rage.
It was a rage. But it was fun watching it for like the first 2 minutes, and then that was it. The
Yeah.
rest of it was downhill from there.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
You had me at Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler's the best.
Always the best.
All right, Mur, we got to pull from your stank bag.
You do.
Let me do the honors.
Sure.
Oh, there's lots. Oh, it's like there's little pubic hairs in this bag. How did it get inside there? Tickling my fingers.
What do we got?
Oh, snap!
Is it good?
I might like it. You're going to hate it. It's called Rollerball 2002.
So not the original?
Not
No.
the original.
So the original had what, James Caan in it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the remake with that guy from American Pie.
There's the guy from American Pie, Eugene Levy?
No.
Eugene Levy's in it?
No.
All right, it's going to be good. I love Eugene
might be
Levy.
in it.
Who doesn't?
No, the kid.
So he's a rollerballer?
Lacrosse dude from
Lacrosse
American
dude?
Pie. Yeah,
What?
You know, the roller bike, Chris Klein.
That's him.
Jean Reno, LL Cool J, Rebecca Romaine before she was Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
Yeah.
Naveen Andrews. The cast just keeps getting bigger and better.
No, cast sucks.
Rollerball. I cannot wait to watch this again.
But Eugene Levy's in it?
But LL Cool J is.
There you go. The cool
But
one.
is Eugene Levy in it?
No.
Oh.
No.
Why did I think he was in it?
Because you knew
I
you
said
thought
American
that
Pie.
Eugene Levy was the
Oh,
only
right.
person that was in the movie American Pie.
It was just all about
Well, he's
him.
the only memorable character.
Well, Chris Klein was obviously because he
Stifler.
got cast in this movie because of American Pie.
Exactly. And has done nothing else since.
I'm going to love this movie. There's going to be a lot of punching and kicking and roller derbying.
That's right.
Love it. I'm already excited.
Yeah. Do I have to watch it?
And
Yep,
it's a sports
we
movie.
both do.
I would rather not watch it.
Well, you're going to watch it anyway.
I think we should have 3 passes a year.
No fucking way.
Nope.
It's not going to happen. It's part of the torture.
I would like to use my first pass this week,
No,
please.
I would have used it on Cats, and we can't. So if we can't use it on Cats in retrospect, because I can't undo that from my mind, we're not allowed to use them ever.
All right.
All right, well. Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended film raid crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision of photography. Leonard Conlon Photography. Listen to us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And check out our website at filmrageyyc.com. We are always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for all listeners. So please comment often, and please make us rage. Please. Please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.